Hey, how you guys doing, man? It's Joe D, and welcome to Share a Beer 433. This is the All About GABF show. This is about Tom Paul is who's in the show right now too, and Mark. Our trip to GABF in Denver, the Great American Beer Festival. For those that don't know, we're gonna talk all about that. So if you've got a special beer and you're going to be in the chat or something like that, and you wanted to really talk about that, you might want to wait till either the Friday show or next Tuesday if you wanted to share that with us, or just enjoy it. You can put it in the chat what you're drinking maybe, and then we can do it that way. But we're mostly going to talk on this one about our trip, and then try to squeeze in some malt liquor report as well. So
oh yeah, we got to do the malt liquor report.
Yeah, you got to do the malt liquor report. That's one of our main segments now, man. So, but we've got Barrick here in the show, so I would like to take a couple minutes first, man, and see how Barrick's doing, how he made it through the hurricane. We haven't talked to him since then, so how you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Awesome. So, and you made it through the hurricane okay? How was your experience?
It was windy.
All right, Dave.
Windy, a little wet.
But there was no damage.
Awesome. Awesome.
I was out of electricity. I lost electricity Monday around 2 o'clock in the morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, and got it back Friday afternoon. So my office never lost power, so I just stayed in my office, had a little kitchenette.
Okay, and air conditioning. Yeah.
Came home, took a cold shower, and went back to work.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Well, glad you're doing well. Yeah, we were kind of wondering. We figured you were probably getting busy, and then with the hurricane and stuff, probably took you out of commission for a couple of weeks. So good to have you back.
It's never as bad as they say. I remember last October that when it came up, they said it's going to just destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had maybe at the most 60-mile-an-hour winds. Never lost power. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good, man. That's good to hear. Yeah, we just were kind of concerned. You know what I'm saying? And just wondering. Hey, how's he doing? Yeah, we hadn't heard from him, so. Yeah, I'm just glad to see everything's okay.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's better to kind of overshoot it, be a little extra prepared than than for worse than you expected.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. And Bum, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I must ask Paul. Paul, are you the Mark brother that's in Scott Township?
I am. Yes, my first show.
I'm in Penn Hills, so we're very close.
Yeah.
I'll be meeting you in person eventually. It's been it's just bound to happen eventually.
Yep.
Just a matter of coordinating things. So
yeah, cheers. Yeah, that's true, man. This is Paul's first time in the Share Beer, so welcome, Paul. Good to have you, man. Yeah, finally.
I'll give as much time as my kids will allow. So
that's true. Yeah, we'll make it quick here. And everybody else, man, how you guys doing, brothers?
Excellent.
Excellent, man. So we'll start. Let's see. Tom was the first one there on this past Wednesday. What date was that?
That was the 4th.
The 4th. Yeah. So we'll start with Tom. Tom was the first one there. We'll kind of try to put it in order here the best we can. Start with Tom. You were there for pretty much all of Wednesday. What was your Wednesday like?
So my Wednesday flight was supposed to be around 6 something in the morning. It ended up being around 8:50. Got in around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I ended up getting into the Airbnb that I was gonna stay at around like 1:30, and from then I just took the rail back into downtown, went to Falling Rock, and ended up meeting Zach. Honestly, I stayed at Falling Rock probably until like 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And then I went and bought some tickets for the All-Star Showdown at 7:30. There was like a bunch of like East versus West IPAs over there. And then I went back at 9:30. Ended up drinking a decent amount and just headed back home. It was a good time.
Cool, man. And then Thursday is when I think, Paul, you got there as well, you and Mark?
Yeah, I got there 30, so I was there about 3 hours before Mark, and staying at the airport. So of course I had to go check that out while I was waiting. So Denver beer flights, that was pretty good. So they had a bunch of samples of local Colorado beers. And caught up to me very fast, right? Then we just spent the rest of the day bopping around and drinking. So
Yeah. I got there about 3 hours after Paul did and joined him over at Denver Flights and put down my 10 samples for $10. And we got on the train and went down to the hotel and turned around and headed back up to Denver. Where we met Tom for dinner. Yeah, that was kind of nice. We went to Wind Coop Brewing and had some dinner. And I think we just had one beer there. We had one beer there, right? I think.
Yeah, I think we were starting. I think we were trying to start very small.
Yeah, and then Tom goes, "Wait, they've got a tap takeover at 8 o'clock." So we ran over to Falling Rock, and we stayed there until. Oh, well, it was we stayed there until 10:30 or something like that. Maybe 3 hours, and had a lot of beer. I mean, there was 3 or 4 different beers. Lots of sours. That was the one thing with this trip, man. We drank a lot of sours this trip.
A lot of sours.
Yeah.
A lot of sours, yeah.
And, which was nice.
So did it come around, Joe?
I don't have them a lot, so it was good.
You never liked sours, have you, Joe?
Well, and we talked about that a lot because, in the past, you figure maybe 5 years ago, it was like the only sours were really different variants of some kind of cherry sour. Like that was pretty much all that was out there. And yes, it really turned me off. The sours we had, man, and we had a lot of them. A lot of sours, a lot of salt beers. Your Goses and your Saisons, a lot of them. I mean, a bunch. And I gotta say, man, they're pretty good. What I still, if it's not for a review, if it's for me just to chill, I'm probably not still. But I can't say that I'm as off-put as I was before the trip. That's for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm going back through Untapped to kind of see what we had on Thursday, because we had a couple. We had that really good one from Green Flash. What was that, Tom? That thing was.
Oh, that was this.
I know I had that the Strawberry Berry or something like that.
Yeah.
Talking about the one outside.
So tell them what was Falling Rock like? For everyone that don't. Falling Rock was more of a. Was that just a brewery or what was that like?
Oh, that was intense. It's basically outside. I don't know if they do it just for the beer week, but outside they had taps and everything like in a little hut, and everyone's chilling outside, tables, and then you go inside, and they had 75 taps, basically anything you'd possibly want. And when you walk in, like Joe said, when you walk in, when we were there, there's beers everywhere. Literally, it wraps the whole place, like 4 rows, just wrapping the whole place, taps everywhere.
Yeah.
It was a pretty incredible spot.
Yeah, by the time, it's like a tap house, really. So do they brew some beers, Zach, or no? So it's just a tap house, really. So you go there. It's a bar, basically. But it's just a really cool, crafty bar. And they've got actual beer bottles that that have been opened and saved and collected, like Tom said, probably about 3 or 4 high, wrapped around the whole place. It's really cool. Everything's kind of woodsy in there, and decorated kind of how a lot of bars can be, kind of, but it really, really cool. And then taps everywhere too. They had different taps from different beers hanging up there below those Well, in the center, I think mostly they had like a center part that had tables and stuff, but above the tables, that's the decorations they had. Really, really cool bar, man. And like Tom said, it's kind of blurred because it's hard to tell what was just for Beer Week as far as how far they went with everything, because they did have a tent out in the front and everything. I kind of assume that is more.
No,
of a,
that is not normal. Where that tent is usually parking. Limited parking. So that tent would have another 20 taps, right? So
where the tent is, they bring out that draft trailer just for busy weekends, different events. Like they'll do, it's parking. There's like 3 parking spaces there during the week, but opening day, busy baseball time. Anytime they're going to be busy, that draft trailer.
So it doesn't take much for them to shut down that little area right there. Is what it sounds like.
No, it might just like so. Saturday, I'll work an event at Fresh Craft, or not Fresh Craft, Falling Rock, and it'll be Fresh Hop Fest. So that entire tent will be draped with nothing but fresh hops all the way around it, and inside of it, the whole floor of the parking lot, everything will just be hops.
Yeah. And I just got through Untapped, and I think we mostly had the same beers, but did we all have Supplication?
Vivid Sauvage?
Was that the one we had?
Yeah, that one was really good. They had that Consecration really good too.
Yep, you had Consecration. I had Supplication, which was a wild ale. And then Vivid Sauvage from Green Flash. It was a Belgian triple. That was a special one. Dank Williams.
That was my first take on Cellarmaker, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, Cellarmaker. That was a double Imperial IPA. And then the one that we really liked was that Turbo Bam from Jolly Pumpkin.
Turbo Bam.
Sour ale. 4.9%, but man, it was really flavorful. Really flavorful.
That's the one thing about sours. Like, the ABV doesn't have to be up there.
No.
Yeah. Most are very low.
Yeah.
That's good.
Most are like 5 or lower, I would say.
Yeah.
Consecration, I think, is closer to 10, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a strong.
Yeah.
It went down very nicely though.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great beer.
Application's like 7 3/4. It's a wild ale, so yeah, wild sour. But
Russian River is all that's what they're known for. Is the big IPAs and then those sours. It's like
I wasn't very impressed with Pliny on my first take on it.
Yeah, I'm not either. Have you had Blind Pig?
It was there. I was gonna have it, but for some reason, all these.
I think that's significantly better than Pliny, personally.
Yeah, I've had Blind Pig before, and it was very. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years, but it was a good beer. It was a very good beer.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but Pliny almost dated, I guess, in a way. You know, it's one of the original big West Coast ones, and I think it's craft beers evolved so much that it's kind of stuck in the past a little bit. It's still a good beer, but compared to all the all the big hazy East Coast IPAs and then the newer, bigger West Coast IPAs, it's kind of
Well, it's like a lot of things.
It's a cult beer. It's a cult beer.
Yeah.
And then we there's so much choice now is what ends up happening, and so you've already had that beer now, you've been there, done that sort of thing, so you kind of not that there's anything wrong with her, but sometimes you got to let her go because there's so many other damn ones, you know what I'm saying? These over here are fresh and new, you know what I'm saying? So
I would like if Tom's comfortable going public of telling everybody what he thought of Pliny the Elder, because it made me smile because it's so true.
Wait, what?
Who was this, Zach?
Your thoughts on Pliny the Elder, Tom?
Your thoughts, Tom?
Oh, my
when you had Pliny the Elder on Wednesday.
I thought it was, honestly, it tasted like a mediocre West Coast IPA, in my opinion.
Thank you. Finally.
It wasn't. It was. I
honestly, the Pliny lovers and all their bullshit that they go out and search for it. it's not even that great of a beer. It's a great beer, but there's 300 more that are better.
Yeah.
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 You can honestly go to a
Is that a little bit like Hetty Topper?
and have a beer just like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the first of many, and that's why it's got legendary status, because it was the first one, really. Yeah.
So
To be fair, though, I think Tom is probably about as jaded as you can get with IPAs.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
With all the places around.
That's true.
I'm
That's true.
fogged. My brain's fogged with all the New England IPAs.
I think Green Flash makes better IPAs than most people think.
Yeah. Even Alpine. I think Alpine's better too.
Oh yeah.
Alpine, Green Flash. I think once you try some of the big West Coast IPAs, even some of the ones that were coming out of the Midwest, I mean, New England style IPAs are just a style. But there are some really good IPAs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The gold medal winner from Hailstorm in Chicago this year is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. There's lots of good ones out there.
So you guys also went to Wynkoop Brewing. Now that's an actual brewery. So what was that like?
It was a 2-floor brewery. The first Mark was the first floor, just tables and one bar. Then you go upstairs, more tables, more bar, and then pool tables and everything. But honestly, the beers, I got a Cucumber Ghost, and I highly enjoyed it.
Oh man, there
was
so many Cucumber Ghosts, right? I mean,
yeah, and a lot of them. Yeah, I got I had the fire roasted ale, which was a red ale, amber ale, but I think, yeah, I mean that's been there forever, and they always put out decent beer, and the food was pretty good. So it's in an old building, I guess it was an old warehouse or something. So it's got the big timbers and all that stuff. So it's a cool building, and they've done a good job of integrating the brewery into it. And it's been there for almost 30 years. So I mean, it's very successful too. So
right. And awesome about it.
Yeah, I had the petite saison. That was really good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. You had the saison there. Yep, that was a good beer. Yeah, they do good stuff. I mean, it's not blow your head off, but it's really solid beer. Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. And so, did you guys stay up late Thursday night, or was that kind of an early evening?
Well, we went to the tap takeovers are crazy that night. That's the night that had Rare Barrel, Cellar Maker, with that Jolly Pumpkin.
Yep, Jolly Pumpkin, Green Flash.
Green Flash. It was just, you would get a beer, 15 minutes, another tap takeover, get another beer.
It was good until about 9:30, quarter to 10, when the session got out, and then when all the people got out of the session, it just got really, really crowded. Up until then, it was crowded, but not uncomfortably so.
By the session, you mean the actual session at GABF? So
yes, once they got out and everybody showed up with their half-eaten necklaces of pretzels and big happy smiles on their faces, it got really, really crowded. So we stuck around for about 45 minutes or so after that, and it was jam-packed. And we'd already had 4 or 5 beers. So we left about, what do we leave, about quarter to 11, something like that?
Yeah, I remember, I think 11:15 train.
Yeah.
That, vice versa. 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Like a beer amusement park, thoh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
rides appearing every half hour.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, and then of course I left Friday from Arizona, and got there. I don't know what time it was, 10:30 or something. I forget exactly, but hadn't been to Denver in 10 years. So it was an interesting experience going to the airport. I remember the airport was big, but it is really big. Denver Airport is huge. It's got its own little train, of course, which a lot of the big airports like that, Atlanta, Denver, Chicago, I know that they all have LAX, but all the terminals are in one spot, and then you got to jump on a train to get out of that kind of terminal area into kind of the main airport area where you'd have security and so forth. But there's a lot of little shops in the airport to just drink at and hang out right there in the airport. Like it's Denver is definitely the mecca of craft beer. There is definitely a beer culture. In the 10 years since I've been there, there's definitely more of a beer culture. It definitely hits you in the face when you arrive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you take that. Transportation was a lot easier. When I had got to Denver 10 years ago, they had literally just finished that first line that headed south. There was no other lines, just that one line. And I happened to get lucky and stay out in a hotel that was right out off of that line. So on my first trip there to Denver 10 years ago, we'd hop on that one train, and it was really nice. Now there's trains going pretty much all over Denver, and made it super easy. It was $9. You pay. It takes cash or a card. The machine does, and it was really cool. If anybody saw my posting that I put, of course, as soon as I got the coins, I dawned on me. Of course, I'm near the Denver Mint, so of course Denver gives you change in dollar coin change. So that was, I felt, pretty interesting.
Yeah, I see you even got an old Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, I even got.
I saw that too.
Yeah, it gave me the old Susan B. Anthony, the old, I thought the little collecting part of that would be kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because I have not seen a dollar coin in forever.
Did you get a Sacagawea?
I did. I got a Sacagawea. I got, who were the other presidents that I mentioned?
I can't remember.
I already tossed them in my little. I have a jar that I collect all my rare bills and rare coins. Oh, all my coins actually. But so I got about $5 in, altogether. The whole trip altogether, I ended up with like $5 in dollar coins. But I thought, there's so many things that Denver has a culture. Like you get there and it doesn't take long for it to dawn on you, Denver's culture. You start thinking about the history of Denver and how it came to be and everything. And as you're there, of course, Denver Mint and stuff like that, little bits and pieces hit you that it stand out to me, coming from a place like New Mexico that has a culture as well. And now I'm in Arizona that has a culture, but I don't know if it's so much in Phoenix. Like, you have to look for it a little bit, but with Denver, man, it hits you in the face. You know what it's about. The building, the architecture kind of resembles some of that. And but the train ride is super quick and easy. They even have people from the airport, at least. You notice when you're on the train, leaving the airport to go to Grand. They don't call it Grand Central. What do they call it? Union Station. On that ride from the airport to Union Station's a pretty quick. I don't know, maybe half-hour ride.
No, I don't think even that.
It's a pretty quick ride, but you even notice they have physical people standing outside each railroad crossing. Where a street would cross that rail, they have physical people standing out there with stop signs, I guess, to ensure that people won't try to cross through drive through the little spaces between the little gates that come down. So that at every single stop, I saw some physical person there with the stop sign, which I thought was interesting. Another level of safety. And so it ensures you're getting out of the airport quick, like that train's not going to stop. Union Station, it would be my only gripe about this whole trip, because planning the trip, getting down there, everything's colored and everything's lettered, and you're confused. You haven't been there. You're trying to, okay, where do I got to go next? You have to connect to another train. If you're like us, you're going to go, south or west or whichever way you're going to go. And you're like, okay, where do I go? And everything, you get to Union Station, everything's numbered. And you're like, what? What is this? Where do I go? And then you're looking at the map they have there, and the map is showing the letters and the colors, and you're like, but your signs are numbered. It's numbered by track. And so that's the only thing that drove me nuts. because for at least a good 10-15 minutes, I didn't know where I was going. I walked in a couple different directions the wrong way, and then finally some cops showed up because they do have their own police. So the police that were for the train kind of showed up. There's about 4 of them that showed up, and then I asked them, hey, which way do I go? And as soon as they pointed me to which way I should go, then I started seeing letters and numbers, letters and colors again, and it was very simple. But man, that initial stop,
it is confusing there. Yeah, when you get off one train, you gotta, we spun around too. Paul and I spun around and we're like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
we just wandered around in a circle for a little while. Yeah,
it's not quite what you expect. You expect like an airport kind of feel, or like if you have been to Grand Central Station, somewhere other central stations like that are kind of like a building, and you go into them, and maybe you go up an escalator or something, and then you get to a main part, and then you go to your different.
Everything in Colorado is outside.
I'm sorry.
Everything in Colorado is outside.
Yeah, that would, everything in Arizona is the same way as well. But I mean, that's still fine. It's just that I think they need to do a little bit better job right there. Like, because if you've never been there, that part was a little confusing. But the thing of it is, if you're not in a super hurry when you get there, there's going to be breweries immediately. As soon as you're like, you're going to see something to have a drink and kind of chill. If you wanted to get your bearings, or maybe kind of get your bearings and lose them at the same time. But that part, once you're pointed in which direction to go, it is pretty simple at that point. And then caught the other train, went south to the hotel. That was also an easy train ride. And the stops are clearly marked for you. They have audible, like a voice that's telling you what the next stop is, and so it makes it really easy to get where you had to go. That's the only complaint I had, only one really. Everything was great. That one ticket you buy at the airport for $9 will take care of you for 24 hours.
Nice.
It will take care of you for that whole day, no matter where you want to go, bus or train, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
And they even have different kinds of buses too. There's different levels of like bus rides that you can get. So it covers quite a bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then from then, $5 every day after that if you don't go past like 2 zones.
Yeah. So it was like after that, it was $5 a day to get from the hotel back to downtown and back, and it was very affordable. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than a DUI in a rental car. So
hell of a lot. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I can say the transportation is excellent, man. Denver's another town like Vegas where you really don't need to rent a car. I mean, if you rent a car, then it's probably because you want to go somewhere specific, that's kind of outside of that immediate Denver area. Maybe that would be a reason you would rent a car. Otherwise, I would kind of try to save some money on the car rental, even if I did want to go somewhere special, and just Uber it, man. I would kind of really think about that. But Denver is, for me, just checking into going this coming weekend. I mean, that last minute is still like, I don't know, $100-$150. I mean, it's not that expensive a place to go. Even last minute, at least from Phoenix.
Yeah,
I don't know about
$450, but yeah, Denver's good.
Yeah, there was when I immediately got back, Google was already alerting me that there was $90 fares. So going right back, I mean, 2 days later.
Doing going home? Turn around and get back to Denver.
Exactly. It was like, I could have been there now. Actually, like it was that. Yeah. It was that quick that they were showing me the fares were. So Denver's definitely a place I will be going back to more often, just because.
We have a cool beer fest this weekend.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, hey, when you go to Denver, they had a street named Stout. I saw a Stout Street.
Yep,
okay,
Stout
so
Street.
Yeah. And it's a major street too, so it wasn't like just some little street. It was a major. So, I mean, there is definitely a beer culture there, man. On my ride from the airport, there was brewers talking amongst themselves. I was like, wow, check this out. This is cool. You know what I'm saying? So that part was cool. We did a ton of walking, man.
Yeah. You got there. What time did you get to Falling Rock? Was it like maybe 2 o'clock or so by the time you got there? And I think it was.
You guys
Friday. Probably about 2 o'clock. And Paul and I got up Friday morning, had ourselves a delicious breakfast at Perkins, and then took the train up, and we went to Great Divide first thing in the morning. We got there about 11, and did some samplers. What's that, Zach? Yeah, we got there about 11:15, 11:30. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Falling Rock about 12:30, I think.
Yeah. We went to Great Divide first. And
yeah, because you just killed the tag.
Yeah. We got the Great Divide like 15 minutes after they opened, and the place was already packed. Wow. So there were beer geeks all over the place.
People had luggage from the airport, and
it was just stopped on the way to the hotel. They didn't even go to the hotel. They just walked in with their carry-ons. Were drinking beer. So we did. What do we do? Two like 8 tasters, and we split between us and tried a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
And then we got a text from Zach, said, well, the kill a keg happened in 6 minutes and 37 seconds. They killed a keg at the Falling Rock in 6 minutes and 37 seconds. What was it? Fresh hop ale? Is that what it was, Zach?
Yeah, Sierra Nevada Harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Harvest.
So we walked over there, and Tom met us. You got there about 1 o'clock, and then Joe got there about 2, and had a couple beers. Had a couple beers and some lunch, and then
I know the tab for the table was quite impressive.
Oh, was it really? Did we leave enough cash? I hope we did.
Oh yeah, you guys were good.
Okay.
Okay.
Because and figure you guys bought all your own beers, so add that on to roughly about a $700 tab.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Between the beer and the food. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, so.
So I mean,
don't forget about the entertainment we had too on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Great.
That's true. Yeah, Joe missed it. We got to.
Yeah,
we got to see UFC Fight Night across the street.
Oh Jesus, that was
awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom. Tell the story. Tell the tall tale of
we were at Falling Rock Tap House, which is like a bar really, and then across the street literally was another bar. So there is that. So go ahead with your story.
All right, so we're just standing there drinking, having a good old time, and then Paul says something. He's like, "Hey, those guys are fighting over there." We're like, "Nah, what do you mean they're not fighting?" So you see out of nowhere one guy with his shirt off, and another kid with like a black shirt and like a red backpack tight on, and then they just stop fighting. They just start going at it, and the kid with the backpack on gets the best of them, and then it's like a security guard comes in, and at the same time everybody we're all outside watching, and we're yelling, because we're all cheering them on and everything. So they get broken up. And you think it's over. And then the other kid's pissed off because he got the best of them. The kid with the backpack runs in, and there was like a truck there, so you couldn't really see. All you see is him jumping in the air and going to kick him in the head. It was just ridiculous. They went back and forth. They would stop, go again, and then the kid with the shirt, he was all messed up. He was on the ground crying. He was punching a brick wall, and then. To top it all off, we thought if I was him, I would have just left. But to top it all off, a cop ends up coming, and out of nowhere, he just whips his dick out, and just pisses everywhere.
Oh,
and then,
that's after he ripped the sign off the building.
Yeah, he ripped the sign.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
ripped the sign off the building. Nice.
Across the street.
And then gave us all the finger, whipped his dick out, and pissed all over.
It was
public urination.
Joe missed it. Like right before Joe got there.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if, people get pretty sloppy there, but I guess that answers that question.
That answered that one, right? Yeah.
But that was just a regular bar. We were at the hoity-toity beer bar, and we were all happy.
Yeah.
He was
Is
upset.
is it like, I know that's one thing, like I was talking to a local guy here about Oktoberfest, and he's basically saying that he pretty much hates it. He never goes, he's lived here almost his whole life, and he's not a fan. Partially because it's like just a way for people just to get wasted now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if that's kind of, I think it's pretty rough there.
I can tell you my impressions, Pat, and then I'm sure the other guys would agree with me, but then Zach can tell you his perspective as well, from someone that's lived there forever and does this every year. My impressions of what the locals think of the fest are they like it. I don't think they mind it per se. A lot of them even go every year. Now the brewers that go are it's just kind of part of their thing every year. It reminds me of my attitude towards the Balloon Fiesta. I love the Balloon Fiesta, but it was like, it comes every year, and it's I may go for a day or two, but it's like, but I still loved going. I still looked forward to it coming. In Denver, it just seems like there's so much beer happening all the time that it's just kind of part of their thing. It's just like, we're alcoholics. What do you want? Like.
No, Joe, we're not alcoholics. We're drunks. Alcoholics go to meetings.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. We're drunk. Yeah, I like that. That's a good
We're
one.
drunks. We're not alcoholics.
Yeah.
Get it right.
So what's the actual deal there, Zach, with that?
That sums it up pretty well. I mean, we love that fest here in town. We've had it for, like, what was this, 27 years or whatever. We'll never let go of it. It'll always be here. It'll always be ours. It needs to grow. From a local standpoint, it does need to grow, and we need to. Okay. We need to try to welcome more people in. I think there needs to be probably double the amount of sessions. As a brewer, it's one of those that you go to and you work, but if you guys are photography guys, and you understand when you go somewhere and you're going to shoot a lot of pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just that day. You are committed to, with GABF this year, I start the Saturday before with events, and by Saturday night, I took these guys out. Spent most of my Saturday just with them, trying to go brewery hopping, and that to me was nice and relaxing, and I love getting out away from the festival. But it's also just a good time.
Yeah.
What I can say also before we lead into us going to GABF, because that's where we're at. I got there, we had a beer or two, had something to eat really quick, and then went to GABF because we wanted to make sure we didn't know what to expect. It was our first time, so we wanted to make sure and get in line and stuff. So, but what was really cool about that kind of the overall trip was to see Zach actually in his environment. I had hung out with Zach here in Phoenix, and that was one thing. It was a great trip actually to see him here. But to see him in his environment, man, doing his thing was really cool, man, because Zach's a little celebrity over there, man. Everybody kind of knows Zach. Everywhere he goes, man, they all know Zach. And just talking to people, even without Zach, we were like, hey, we got a friend. He's co-owner of Chain Reaction Brewing, and it's Zach. And we're like, okay, wow, okay, yeah. It was like people actually knew him and stuff. So, and then Zach, tell us about that little thread that happened with people taking photos of you everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Love the bluntness.
Yeah.
I was pretty tired. Just by Friday night, I was pretty tired. it started on Friday night that I fell asleep on the train, and another brewer took a picture of me and sent it to me with this bottle to wake up. So woke up, and the next morning I wake up and we have to be at the awards real early in the morning, and there's not a lot of coffee, there's not a lot of burritos yet. So before I get anything in me, there's another picture of me taken, just completely zoned out. And
These are just random pictures that people are taking of him.
There's about 8 of them now on this one thread of just me sleeping in random places. Just looking completely just, I want to go home.
Yeah, they were making little memes of him and everything. It was so funny, man. I'm like,
it's such a good time. I love what I do out here, and I kind of put you guys in more of the lifestyle of where a brewer wants to be on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it kind of gave some insight of the people who do this. They do it. We don't have money. We don't do it for fame or riches or anything. We are at our bars. We sleep at our bars, and we do this really for nothing but love and making everybody else happy.
Yeah.
It is a true passion. It's a true craft, and I mean, it's something that when you can, these guys were fortunate enough to sit at tables and meet some of my dear friends that some of these guys, ex-Great Divide brewers who, bought most of our beers, and then all the way to Jordan at Woodboss, who they had just opened but wanted nothing but to hang out and talk with you guys.
Yeah. That was
very cool.
Yep. So incredible. That was so freaking badass. Yeah.
Meeting these people that are, near and dear to my heart. And like you guys heard, we're more family than we are friends or industry or any of that. We're all family together.
Yeah.
It was such. It was nice for you guys to kind of be able. I think that's a side that. I come in and we have a couple of beers. You don't get to see that. You get to see that. We get to go out into the lifestyle. You get to see that passion, and even if we're frustrated talking about something, it's just how much everyone cares about each other.
Yeah.
This industry as a whole.
That was great. So we'll break this up a little bit, and we'll get to another side of beer, kind of briefly. The malt liquor side.
Yes.
So we'll kind of bring in Billy D and get a quick malt liquor report if we can. Kind of break this up a little bit.
Yeah, you talk about as far as all this talk about great beer and the brotherhood of the. You want to talk about things coming to a screeching halt right
now.
Before you start, Bob, I do have to say for the malt liquor community, I offered to take these guys to a gas station and buy all of them a 40 that we would. Every one of them denied to do it. So.
Yeah. It actually on top of that, Bob, he took us to a whole malt liquor community. Actually.
I did take
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 5 points. Did all of them have ski masks on?
I was going to say they all needed to cam up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what was the opposite on your end there, Bum?
Okay, well, this will be of interest to everybody here. Now, last week, some of you saw it, some of you didn't. Last week, we did a little feature on the malt liquor terminator, Sandra Pena, Cuban malt liquor drinker.
Yes.
There was something very important about Sandra Pena that I neglected to mention. I totally forgot about it, and I should mention it to you guys. Sandra Pena at one time was a craft beer drinker.
Ooh,
he is a reformed craft beer drinker. I guess he used to make craft beer videos and troll those guys, and they kept telling him, "Come join the dark side." And He finally did, and he has now sworn off craft beer and craft beer drinkers.
Is he out of Cuba or is he out of Florida?
He may live in Florida now. He's originally from Cuba, but we watched his video last week with his malt mobile home that he just bought. But that should be a lesson to all of us, and myself included. It could happen to any of us.
Be tempted to the dark side.
Yeah. So just be careful. Everybody,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just I like that warning. Yeah. That, what is that? A PSI? What do they call those? PSA.
PSA. Public service announcement.
Yeah.
Be careful because you too could fall into malt liquor hell.
You could join the dark side if you're not careful. So there was that leftover from last week that I forgot to mention. Also, Steel Worldwide did one of his trademark double malt, Code 45 double malts, where he has some fast food. He did double the malt, and he did double the McDonald's McGriddles. He ate two McGriddles while enjoying a 40 of Code 45 double malt. And he also reminded us that McRib season is coming soon.
Oh, that's right.
McRib.
Oh, that's the one thing we have in common, man. We both like the McRib. Yeah.
You know what though? I actually on the radio here in Munich already heard commercials for the McRib.
Dude, it's a worldwide season. I'm telling you, man. It's 6 weeks of pure greatness. It's 6 weeks of pure pork meat stuff compressed into a
chunked and formed pork madness.
On one side, mind you, on one side, it's only formed to look like a rib on one side. The other side, don't go there.
It's basically a hamburger to look like a rib.
don't flip it over. You won't. You know, you won't come back. You know what I'm saying? Like bad things will happen to you. Just look at the side that looks like a rib, and it's so tasty.
Live the dream. Live the dream.
I've heard if you scrape the barbecue sauce off it, it tastes like a McDonald's hamburger. So the final bit of news this week is the rumor that I reported on here several weeks ago. I had an exclusive several weeks ago that Malt Mustang was going to send a 40-ounce bottle of Schlitz Bull Ice to 40-ounce Fear.
Oh, yeah.
Those rumors are true. Malt Mustang mailed the 40-ounce last week, and Fear received it last Friday, and he mentioned it in one of his videos that he posted it on Saturday, and he's going to be drinking it soon, but he did acknowledge it in his video. And maybe next week I'll tell you about the ingenuity that I heard that Malt Mustang employed to figure out where 40-ounce Fear lived without actually asking him his address. Malt Mustang's a pretty clever guy from what I gather. So
that's awesome. So
that should also be another warning, though. Don't cross the malt liquor community. They can find out where you live.
Oh yeah, no doubt, right? Yeah, they will hunt you down, man. They're like PETA, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm curious. They didn't call it a beer mail, did they? Because that's what we call. That's what we call it.
It's malt mail.
Of course.
Malt mail or malt liquor mail? I was thinking.
Of course, malt mail. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So next week I'll report on how I did some investigation, and I figured out how Malt Mustang was able to figure out Fear's address.
Okay.
Jesus, it's like
this is in depth.
So they have their own CIA
malt liquor reporter.
Yeah, they have their own FBI.
CIA division of the malt liquor community.
Yeah, but Fear didn't
MLI, huh?
Yeah, Fear didn't seem to be too freaked out. That this showed up. I think he was just happy that some free beer arrived in the mail.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, thanks, Bum.
That's it for this.
I did want to tell you guys, I did watch your show from last week, and I am now into craft beef jerky.
Oh,
Cool.
No. Some Crave beef jerky here. You know, it's
Is that like a gosa beef jerky?
yeah. It's not as good as the Slim Jims that were on the malt liquor report last week, but you know,
yeah.
it did get me into this.
I actually had craft beef jerky for free. It's a new company here in Denver. They gave us 3 different kinds of jerkies and 3 different kinds of jerky sticks. Completely free. They refilled it every day. Entire day of the effort. It was really good.
Wow.
Hey, Mark. I have to interrupt for 1 second. Your nephew just wants to say hi.
Oh, okay. Hey, Derek.
Hi, Uncle Mark.
Hey, Derek. How's it going?
Hi,
Hey,
Uncle
Derek.
Mark.
How you doing, Derek?
Hi, Derek.
How's it
Hey,
going,
Dee.
Derek?
I just
Okay, go.
He's
Sorry.
looking at the screen like, who are all these people, Dad?
I know.
Who are all these
Jessica.
weirdos?
Jessica, everyone, say hi.
Hey, Jessica. How you doing?
Hey, Jessica.
Okay.
Hi.
How's it going?
You're getting ready for bed. Okay. I may be leaving here, so if I black out, it's
No problem. Yeah, we
All right.
understand. Fatherhood takes precedence, man. Yeah.
Yep, it does.
So, thank you, Billy D. Thank you, Bum, for that malt liquor report. That little nice break in it. So
I am keeping up my Oktoberfest streak this week. with a
Warsteiner.
Warsteiner Oktoberfest.
Warsteiner,
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we are now leaving Falling Rock here, and I'll share a picture of the both of all of us together here. From my
Before or after the poll? Before or after the poll?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's before. So this is us at Falling Rock right before we were about to leave. So that was the group shot of us together.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah. Right before we were about to leave. That was at Falling Rock there in that kind of courtyard area in the front we were talking about. That was us definitely there. Let's see what else I can share here with you. Whoops. What happened here?
I'd love to see that one video you have.
Right. Yeah. You know what? It didn't. That's the only video I did check out, and it didn't really come out. But
Memory is always there.
yeah, we'll always have the memories, of course. Let me see. I wanted to share. Let me see this. This just a couple more pictures from there that I think. What happened to some of these things, man? Oh man. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's another one. I gotta move things around here a little bit. What the? Oh, here we go. Wait, so we had this one. Where'd the other one go? This one. Where'd the other one go? Anyway, so I'll pop these up here. Gosh, this is taking forever. Come on, dude. Come on. There we go, computer. There we go. So here's the other one. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. So here's yeah. There we go. Here's the other pictures that there's Zach, and that's the table we were sitting at Falling Rock. So that's a better look at it. That's the
$700 table.
That's the $700 table actually, and it goes back to that lady right here.
Oh wow, that's a huge table.
That's why it was That's why it was $700.
Yeah, there was a lot of people at the table, a lot of people with us there. It was.
And they took care of us. It was well more than so much.
Yeah, it was very well done.
That's the hamburger I had. So that's an example of what lunch was like.
That looks good.
It was the Western burger, had onion rings on it and roasted bell peppers. Those fries were excellent. I mean,
very good food.
Very, very good food. I forgot what I was drinking. Oh, you know what? Me and Tom had actually ran into a rep from what was the story behind that beer right there, Tom?
Boulevard. I think that was was it the Turbo Bam?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You guys got free beer.
Yeah, we got that. Was I wasn't even.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and she was like, "Yeah, well, I'm a rep of Boulevard Brewing. That one's on me." And I'm like, "Right on."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
nothing works better than free beer. You know what I'm saying? So, and then from there we went on our walk to GABF. Mark, you want to describe that walk to everybody, or?
Yeah. No, we how far? It was about maybe half a mile from Falling Rock to the convention center where GABF was, and we left early because Zach told us we want to get there early so we get at the front of the line so we don't get stuck waiting and take the first half hour to get in. So what time did we get there? We got there about 4, a little bit after 4. The session started at 5:30, but Joe has the video, but he was walking down. Can I describe this, Joe? Is that okay?
Yeah, I've had it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was walking down the street. Paul and I were in front of him. I think Tom was next to Joe, and there was like some random guy behind us. And he's walking down, and I was talking to Paul, and I hear Joe. Oh, here we are walking towards GABF. There's Paul and Mark, and I hear us thunk. And then Joe started laughing. He was videoing, and he ran into a light pole as he was videoing. And the guy behind him says, "Now that was awesome."
Yeah.
So Joe has video. You know, and I think
the pole get bent?
The pole probably had a dent in it. There was no blood on Joe, but I think it have a slight dent.
There was no Joes injured in the filming of that.
Yes. No.
maybe a pole.
So we got there like 10 after 4 and walked in. All our tickets got scanned fine. Oh, I sold my extra ticket to some scalper.
There was a bunch of people wanting tickets.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people buying tickets. So I sold my extra ticket to a guy, got some cash for that. And then we all checked in, and then Tom had to go to like the extra double secret probation ticket check area because his ticket that he bought on StubHub was semi-official, but not quite. But they gave him a pass and let him in.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was a ticket for the wrong day or something. I think wasn't that what it was?
I bought the wrong ticket for the wrong day, and then I sold it, and then I had to bought another one. So I guess I archived the wrong ticket on my email. So I was like, shit.
Yeah. But they took pity on Tom. He said, "I flew all the way from Massachusetts just to go here," and they said, "Okay, we'll let you in." So
some guy walked in, and the same thing happened to him. But I was like, but that guy's doing it, man. But he's like, but he's the original purchaser. I'm like, oh, shucks. But
right, yeah.
But they let him in. So we got into the hall. We were like in the first group of maybe 300 or 400 people. So we got in there about an hour early.
Can't forget about
they gave us little free cheese as we were walking in. There was a guy handing out like free cheese, and we're like, "Oh, sure, we'll take some free cheese." And then Joe, did you try it too, Tom?
I ate one, and the rest was warm in my hand, in my pocket.
It was so rich that we just like held on to it, and it got all squishy and mushy, and we just ended up tossing it when we got into the session. But well, we waited in line about an hour and 15 minutes, had a good conversation with some people just standing around. I did feel a little left out though. I knew about the pretzel necklaces, but I didn't take the time to make one. And everybody had necklaces with pretzels around them, which is supposed to be, you eat the beer, drink the beer, eat the pretzel. So we didn't have any of those. But yeah, we waited until 5:30, and we were like in the first group in, and they opened up the gate, and we went streaming down. Where did we go first? Cigar City, right?
Straight to Cigar City.
We went to Cigar City.
Then after that, went to Deschutes.
Yep, then Deschutes. And then...
Oh, Deschutes is in Denver? Okay.
Oh, no, not for the beer fest. They were from all over. So we had...
Oh, so they're representing there. Okay.
Yeah. And then we went over to Chain Reaction. And then we just wandered around. I mean, we had some breweries that we wanted to go to. And it started at 5:30, and we stopped about 7 to get some food. Some fine pizza. It was the best pizza ever.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. But Joe do you have that selfie, Joe?
Yes, I do actually.
Joe got a selfie with a craft beer rock star. Other than
I
Zach.
told all of them, do not eat at the fest.
I had an Italian, which was really good actually. Luckily, it was no.
Yeah, he got lucky. He got there too late, and they ran out of pizza, so he got real food. We just got doughy tomato stuff. But so Joe got a selfie with a craft beer brewer rock star, I guess is the best way to describe it. I'll let Joe post a picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to a place where I can.
But he was basically, we went to this brewer's booth, and those guys got some samples from him, and then we found him. He was like hiding in a corner, I think it was like trying to just recuperate from being around all these people. And Joe found him, of course, and went over, and he's like, "Hey, brother."
Yeah. Hey, bro, what are you doing over there, man? Yeah.
What are you doing hiding in the corner?
Yeah.
I got my camera. Let's take a picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know why this isn't.
But
it was pretty cool.
But yeah, it was. I think actually one of the funniest parts of the whole thing, whenever anybody drops a glass at GABF, just yells at them.
Yeah, like that, actually.
Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. And we were sitting eating our terrible $10 pizza, and I was joking. I was like, maybe I'll just throw my glass up in the air, let it hit the ground, and everybody will yell at me. And Paul's like, oh, that would be so cool. And he got up and he knocked his glass over by mistake.
I mean, immediately.
Everybody yelled at him.
Yeah.
He just looks at you and just yells. It's hilarious.
And he's like, oh man, So, but that was good. Now we did. How many beers? Paul logged 43 samples, I think, in 3.5 hours we were there. I did 37 or 38. So we didn't go crazy. We just took the time to kind of walk around and see what everybody else, kind of just take it all in, because there were so many people there.
Did you put all those on Untapped, Mark? You had a long list, and yes. I figured you took notes.
I loaded them all on Untapped yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, you must. I figured you must have taken notes and then just.
Yeah. Well, the GABF has a really good app where they have a map of the place, and you can pick out the brewers, and then it points you to where they are on the map, so their booth. And then when you get there, then you can just pull up the beers they had, and you can rate it. But all I did was just check it off, basically.
Okay.
And then figured I'd just go back to Untap and log them all. So
cool.
That worked out pretty well. And
I was there for a good time. I couldn't do that. I was just drinking as a kid.
Yeah.
I won't remember half of it, but
there were definitely lots of happy drunks at GABF.
Oh,
yeah, and that was the thing that was surprised. Well, it's not really, because craft beer drinkers, they may drink a lot, but they're generally happy drunks.
Yes.
So there were just a lot of people, 2 hours in, they're just kind of wandering around with a smile on their face, eating their pretzels off their necklace and, getting samples of beer. So I didn't see anybody hurl, although I guess Zach said he saw a couple.
Yeah, Zach's the one that, because he has the booth, he'd be there.
But everybody, I didn't see any fights. People were just happy drunks. You're just walking around trying beer.
That's because craft beer drinkers actually like what they're drinking, as opposed to love.
Yeah, they're not drinking it out of spite.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
But I Saturday night or Saturday evening with you guys is probably what I enjoyed the most. So.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we a lot of fun on Saturday. That was a good time. We didn't stay out too late. We were back at the hotel like 10:30 on Friday. Got up and went downtown, and it turns out there was a zombie crawl in downtown Denver. Everybody, Walking Dead convention, I guess. So we hung out, and of course Joe was in his element with the photography. So he was happily snapping away. But Zach met us, and he took us up to a couple local brewers that weren't at the festival, but awesome breweries, and we just had a great time. Great time.
Do you have any pictures, Joe?
Yeah. I'm there. For some reason, they're taking forever to load up here, but I think I know why, because it's taking them to the cloud first, and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's like,
apples.
turn off that one channel, that triple X channel that you got going there. You can just turn
Oh
that
no,
off.
I would show it if it was up. Yeah,
High
I
def,
wouldn't have
4K
any problem.
streaming. It does take up a lot of bandwidth.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's backing. It's backing up, but I'm gonna see how this will if it.
Okay. Yeah. There's your images.
Show you this.
Let's see, get it all down there.
Let me try to make them bigger here. So here's some video. Gosh, these pictures are kind of small on here, but so it's kind of going in order right now. Like, so this is my train ride back to the airport, actually. Well, from the airport to Union Station, and then that's the picture we showed you of us meeting up. And then that was the very first beer I had. So
so the first beer Joe gets is like a 13% double imperial stout.
I was about to say stout or porter.
I literally don't remember.
It looks like motor oil.
I went up there, started a conversation with this guy, and I was like, "So what are you having?" And he's like, "I'm having that number 7 right now." I'm like, "Me too." So that's the beer I got. I'm getting an error over here.
Yeah, there's
okay,
the pictures
there.
there.
So that's the pictures of us. That was that one beer that I had. This is us leaving. That's a short video of us like walking to the. This was along our walk. There was this really cool river.
Yeah.
That was there. So I snapped a couple of shots of that, of course, because I could just imagine, shooting people in there. Of course, it was a great location for that. And then all along our way, there was this whole like banners and just God, there was so much. This is downtown Denver right here, and there was so much.
That's Larimer Square.
Larimer Square. Okay, there was so much happening there, man. This is even a little closer to the. Whoops! What happened here?
You just had a picture of the brewer.
It skipped me
That
way
was right when you
forward.
ran into the pole, Joe. That was right where you were.
Right here is the video. This is the video. I'll play it. But this no, that one's not. No, I don't think this one is. This is a little bit before it. No, it is, I think. This is the video, yeah. See, I can see that's the magic pole.
Here comes the pole.
Here comes the pole. You got Zach and Tom on either side, and boom! I can hear it.
I'm laughing my ass off here immediately. I'm just dying, and you could faintly hear in the background some guy go, "That was awesome," but it is. I'm getting all these errors from me trying to put these pictures over here for me to show you guys. But I'm sorry I can't share the audio, but I will post that one because it is hilarious. This is the band they give you when you walk in. As you're walking in, this is what it looks like. So they have these booths set up there. You can get a catalog like that, and then they give you these wristbands that allows you to be in GABF. Yeah, I'm getting tons of errors here. So, but that is what it looks like when you're walking in there. This is what security looked like when you go in.
I know we talked about it last week on here, but after the incidents that have happened in this country lately, the security was on point.
Yeah. They did a good job.
Yeah,
I had bomb sniffing dogs all week that I saw. I had metal detectors every which way. I mean, it was put on very well.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a little bigger, I think.
Yeah, they took full advantage of the $80 it was for a ticket. I mean, they spent the money well.
Yep. So this is what security looked like. It was really big. They got us through it extremely fast. And a little luck too. We happened to get there right as security opened, so the line had already gone down by the time we walked in. And then you go from that security, you go upstairs, you go up these escalators to the Great American Beer Fest, and that was us walking up there. No more poles this time for me to run into, but that was, let me see, this is a look. Yeah, it's not going to play right now, but anyway, there's all these guys, as you heard, I started noticing immediately as we were walking up, there's all these guys with these pretzel necklaces, and you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting, and I didn't realize that they actually wear them and eat them, and so this guy has cheese here and stuff. These are some people we were in line with, and this is a great example of what these pretzel necklaces look like.
I didn't get a picture of it, but the best one I saw this year was a guy that had an entire roasted chicken.
Oh my God! Yeah.
A roasted chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a roasted chicken, and then I saw a guy that just tied string around a pizza box.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's great.
So this is an example of different various, and I'll go back here too. Whoops.
Hey, Joe, we got Oreos in that one.
Yeah, there's
A couple packages of Oreos.
Right. So it's an example of just various different ways people.
I have an Oreo bitch, by the way, whenever we come to that.
They can customize them. So this is a look at the line to get in the fest. When you've already cleared security, we're standing there waiting, and the line behind us was just growing and growing and growing. And that's a look at the line. Look at all those people, man. This is for one session on one day getting into the fest.
That's massive.
That's just what you see.
How many people attended that over the weekend?
Like 16,000 a session, I think. So times that by 4, probably 65,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was an example. And then this is literally the gates open, man, and we're in. And I'm following Tom, man. This is Tom right here, and I'm following Tom, and we're going in. This is a video, but it's not going to play probably. Yeah, for some reason it's not going to play.
Yeah.
But we went immediately to Cigar City. There was literally nobody in line because we were one of the first in line, and we went immediately there, and then to Unta or how do you say that? Units?
Uinta.
Yeah,
Yep.
Uinta.
But
we definitely got, and when we were at Cigar City, they just started handing us these beanies.
Yep. We got some beanies. We got some Cigar City beanies.
They're like, hey, you look cold.
Yeah, so and these are great beanies, by the way. They're not like some cheap beanie. These are really.
That's my running cap for winter. I wear that outside when I go running.
They're nice beanies. I've wore a lot of beanies because I've worked outside for years at night. So yeah, this is the Cigar City brewery beanie.
If you go around looking for merch, you can get it, and you can get it pretty decent.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty damn nice. I will wear that. Here's my GABF Beer Fest bag that I purchased, Merck, and they give you that bag, of course, to carry it. And then one of the ladies that was there, that we befriended, told us about these rings, and these really cool bottle opener rings. It doesn't fit anything but my pinky, but you put it there. And you turn it to the inside, right? So you have it like that. You turn it to the inside, and then you just crack the bottle with it like that. So you would open your bottle like that with that.
Nice.
Ring. So pretty cool deal. But let me get back to showing you these pictures really quickly. I don't want to go too far over. But this is what it looks. I've been dying. You guys know that they used to send me beer to shoots, and I've always wanted to see this in person. And so finally I got to see it in person, this little trailer that they have. And they take that trailer all over the place too.
Yeah, they do.
So that was kind of cool to see. There was Zach's booth, the Chain Reaction booth. And we never actually got to see Zach at his booth, but we did get to sample.
Zach was probably too busy down at the brewery.
Yeah. So I did actually get to sample some of Zach's beer, and it's really good, of course. And then look at, there was even an Alvis there. Memphis Convention Bureau was there, so they had an Alvis guy there, and people were taking pictures with Alvis. And this is the beer celebrity, man. Brooklyn Brewing's own. What's his name again, Mark?
Jared Oliver.
Jared Oliver.
Okay.
Jared Oliver, and he was actually pouring beer there, man. It was so cool to actually see him. And then there we are, man. Got a selfie.
Cool.
Poor guy was trying to.
And he's like, "Nope, gotta take a picture."
Yeah, I noticed him right away. He was literally in a corner. Literally in a corner.
Yep, he was in
You're in a corner. I'm getting your picture.
Sitting there, and so I went up to him, and nobody. Literally, there was nobody around him. And I went up to him immediately, and hey, man, would you mind taking a picture? Hey, yeah, man. He was real cool about it, and so we got a picture. That was the schedule for the station. And then these are some cool people dressed up. There was a lot of people dressed up at the fest. I didn't realize that they would do that, but it was like a little mini Comic-Con, if you will. There was many.
I was just gonna say, hopefully it won't turn into Comic-Con.
But it was pretty cool to see all the different costumes and the way.
A lot of people dress up.
That part was really cool to see. So that's an example of some of the pictures and video that I will post these later, so that everyone can go through them at their leisure. And of course, the one where I ran into the pole, I will definitely post that so that everyone can. I was a little disappointed. You don't really get to hear the dong from the pole because it was kind of loud. And I was disappointed it didn't come out that much, but you could definitely hear me laughing my ass off immediately.
Joe, you gotta find a sound effect for that online someplace and edit that in. You gotta edit it in.
It was funny. It was really hilarious. But that's pretty much. And then the next day we went to like Zach said, we went to his buddy's brewery. And I'm trying to get that reflection.
We went to Woods Boss and then Spangalang.
Yeah,
that was some really good beers.
Woods Boss. We sat at a table. Gosh, let me try to find that picture of us all.
We just sat down with the owners, brewers, and just talked beer. Which was a lot of fun. And they've only been open 2 months. I mean, they got their stuff is together there, Zach. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they had only been there a couple of months, and they really got their stuff together. I'm trying to put some pictures in here really quick of let me get some pictures together. Hold on just a second longer.
Oh yeah, and we got recognized at that brewery from New Hampshire during the GABF session.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Hey, I know you guys. Are you Joe D?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That was pretty cool.
That was what brewery was that? That was
it Bad Lab?
Bad Lab Beer Company.
Yeah.
Out of New Hampshire.
Yeah, his name was Brian. Was it Brian?
Brian, I think it was. Yeah.
But he did say that he's watched the show many times, and he was a fan. So that was pretty cool. Here, I got a couple more pictures I can show you. Let me go through these here. This is an example of the zombie crawl. There's people just dressed up in different zombie outfits. As you can see here, she even had her kid into it. Body parts in there, and then here's a picture of her eating her husband's leg.
She's like, this is the last of him that I have.
Yeah. Now this is at that Woods Boss brewery. It was a great brewery. They had these sofas for you to lounge in. They had free donuts and free barbecue there for us to eat.
Donuts and cups of pork. That's how we do it in Colorado.
Oh man, that was great. And then here's a picture of us all that I do need to post. They actually wanted me to tag them in this image so they could have it for themselves as well. That was us.
So that's Chad in the bowler cap, and then
Wyatt, and then
Jordan and Michelle, right?
yeah.
Yeah, good times, man.
Yep.
I mean, we had a long conversation there with them. That was really incredible. And I can't express to you how good these damn donuts were. I mean, these donuts were
They were so.
they were opening, and not just because they were free. They were literally good donuts. And there's a donut shop going to be opening right next to them, so they were collabing with their businesses and everything in their community. That's what craft beer does. And
Out here, I think you guys saw just how local centric Colorado is.
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so. It was a fantastic trip. And then to well, you guys probably saw to top it off. I mean, an incredible trip, great evening on that Saturday evening. Where I'm leaving. I think most of us left that next day. We all left that next day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
To cap it off, we were walking around. And I'm like, oh, crap, it's almost 8:30. There was another beer fest going on, and it was all from Samuel Adams. And we had like 15 minutes to get there. It was like at 8:30 at this Sam Adams Oktoberfest. They were, which they called the Denver Beer Fest. They were having George Clinton in concert. So you guys might have saw my posting I think I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Of George Clinton, man, and we just rocked to George Clinton for a while, man. That was awesome.
And we stood outside the fence. So everybody inside the fence paid $45, and we stood outside the fence and can see 90% of what they could see for free.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that for a second, because
plus we got secondhand smoke.
Yeah, we had walked around there, okay, and we found this fest, and so I was insanely curious. I had to find out, okay, what how much to get in? What's the deal? It was $45 to get in, okay? You could buy a VIP for I think about the same price as GABF. I think it was $90, something like that for a VIP, which got you pretty much everything. But otherwise it was $45 to get in. I think it was another $25 for a beer pass. Otherwise you paid per beer, and each beer was like $6 or $8, $9, something like that. And literally on the other side of the fence, you could see the whole stage, everything. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I took all those pictures. We stood literally outside the fence.
It was funny, George Clinton. George Clinton wasn't just talking to the people on the inside; he was talking to the people on the outside too.
That's because in spirit, George Clinton was on the outside. He wasn't sure which side of the fence he was on.
But okay. So but it was. I'm trying to get to my Facebook now, but it was. It was
hooked up on it right when it started.
Yeah, right when it started. We walked up and they were literally introducing George Clinton. It was so flipping cool. So here's the where's that posting? Come on, man.
Did you guys kind of notice while you're here? Like I've noticed when I travel, I always feel weird. It's I feel weird that I can't just go get a beer anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like beer anywhere.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Really true.
Anywhere you go, you can get a beer. Yeah.
So here's the picture of George Clinton, and you can see the fence right here, and that's the stage. So you can see how close we were to this thing here. It was ridiculous. There's a couple different shots from different parts of that concert.
We could see pretty much everything. So
I mean, we could pretty much just see everything. It was I mean,
it was a funky good time.
That was it was the perfect cap to just a great weekend, man. We had I know I can speak for myself. We had a great time.
Yeah,
it was
great.
It was great to meet everybody. And actually see everybody in person, and then see Zach, like I said in the beginning, see Zach in his native environment, man. We hung with a beer celebrity, a local beer celebrity in Colorado, man. He's pretty known. He's pretty well known over there. So
like I told you guys, I got to run. The pizza's almost to the door, but
Okay.
you know, I'm about 10 years now. It gets better every year. The struggles and the things that they put on you, and the regulations. That's just part of it. It's really about a love that I hope you guys got to witness while you were up here. Got to really see, how different Denver is from every other city in the nation. Just, not because we got weed and good beer, but
That's a plus.
because of the general people that care about what they do up here and the give a damn that's put into all these. I really enjoyed having you guys up here.
Thanks for the hospitality.
I hope you guys can make it up soon, and we can make it an even bigger thing. And cover an extra day or two next time. We'll show you even a wider range. You guys saw, 4 or 5 breweries out of, there's 80 in Denver proper. So we got a long way to.
Yeah.
But I put my email over into just the little private group chat. You guys, Andrew, you and Bum as well. Throw your addresses. I want to send you guys a crowler of one of our beers.
Sure.
That way you guys can drink it, save it for a show, enjoy it, or drink it by the river. I don't really care what you do with it.
Okay.
You guys that were here at the show, let me know what kind of beer you want to try in your email. You can check our Instagram or whatever to see what's on tap, and I'll try to get you whatever's fresh. But email
Zach,
me your address.
I'll gladly reimburse you the shipping charges. I can.
Send me a beer back. I don't care. Either way, I'm just doing it because it's great having everybody up here. Craft beer is about spreading life and doing good things, and there's not enough of it in the world right now. And we live in a very sad world, and luckily we have beer to make it a much better place. If we can spread that in a little virtual chat room created by Joe D, why not do it? We'll just continue to create a good environment here, and hopefully that spreads to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great time. I will definitely be back. I'll announce to everybody when I'm going, and if you want to meet there, who knows what's happening when we get there. But for me, it'll be kind of a last minute trip, and if anybody wants to go, I'll announce it. You know what I'm saying, when I'm going. But I will definitely be going more because it is a pretty inexpensive trip to do, and you can do definitely. For me, I like nice quick trips, and so it's definitely on that list. For me, that would be my Vegas, if you will. Like, I'm not a gambler, and a lot of people go to Vegas for a weekend to gamble and get out and have fun. But for me, Denver would definitely be it. Like, it would definitely.
Next time, Joe, we'll go on a little barbecue crawl too.
Ooh, yeah, there's definitely a lot of that over there.
Barbecue and chili. I'll take you to get some good barbecue in Mexico.
Yeah, that'll be great.
You have my attention there, Zach.
All right, Zach, we'll see you, man.
Yeah, drop me your email or drop me your addresses. I'll get some crawlers sent out.
Will do.
Okay. I shall, Zach. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Likewise.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're out of here as well. We did an extended show today, because of the special deal here. But hey, thanks, Pat, for joining from all the way from Germany, man. Pat's up late right now.
2:30 in the morning. Is that what I think it is?
Yep, it is.
Yeah,
all right.
Pat's up late.
Last call.
Get some rest, brother. I know you got a lot of work to do here in a few hours, probably. So, get some rest, man.
Appreciate you showing up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep
so,
having a join.
man, I can't tell you. It was you're going to hear it over and over again. That was just a great trip. It was great to meet Tom. Finally, great to meet some other you guys. I'm planning another trip, another big meetup that we'll do way in advance. because I want to give other people plenty of time to join in. It might be in a winter season, so we'll see how that goes. I'll announce that here later. But the guys that went with me know what I'm already thinking, which direction I'm already thinking. So we definitely want to get around to seeing another big member of our community. So that's
what craft beer is about, is hanging out with friends and enjoying beer and
exactly it.
Having fun with life. Yeah. So it was a great trip. Glad we could all get out there. Good time.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody else that joins in and supports this show, and I want to show my gratitude by getting out to you and actually having an actual beer with you. You know what I'm saying? So good times, man. Hope to do this more often. As Mark was saying when we were together, we definitely want to go overseas. So overseas, I'm definitely thinking London, or if there's some way to get up to Signoria, I would definitely love to do that from the Friday
that would be
show.
Cool.
So I've already got some kind of rough estimates of how much this might cost me to get out there, and then once we get out there, there's other cheap flights that you can get that are really, really cheap to kind of help us kind of get here and there. So we might be a way to spend a day in London, maybe a day or two in Ireland, and then maybe shoot up to Holland and see him. I can speak for one thing about Denver, and I'm going to do this at the end here. During that concert, sweet Jesus, man. Okay, look, we're talking about going to Holland, possibly.
I already know where this is headed.
Amsterdam is well known for some stuff. The other part of Denver that it's well known for is it literally hits you in the face when you get there, man. It is. During that concert, Mark saw me. I was literally having to cover my nose, bro. You go to a concert anyway, you get a lot of weed, but this was literally like people smoke freaking cigarettes, man. This was like people smoke weed out there like crazy. So you run into weed.
It's legal in Colorado now.
Right. So you run into weed everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? So but at that, it was just like, oh my God, there's so much weed. There's so much. Oh my God. So yeah, that was definitely the other part of Colorado that, that you get. I mean, just walking around, you're gonna smell weed. I mean, there's just weed everywhere. So for those that are interested in that, I know we have one member of our community that is definitely interested in that. So because there is medicinal or purposed weed here in Arizona as well. So yeah, we definitely have one person in our community who appreciates the herb. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you, man. We covered about everything. So we're out of here. We'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, or Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. The Friday shows where I actually get to have a beer. So if you're actually wanting to get in there when I can have a beer, then Friday's when I do it.
I think I will be somewhere over the Atlantic. I won't be able to join that one.
Okay. Thanks, Pat, for jumping in, man. I appreciate it. And Tom, Mark, it was great seeing you guys. Bum.
Great show, guys. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed listening to this.
Cool. Love listening to the GABF report.
And Bum, I was going to say, I feel honored to finally see a live malt liquor report. So
yeah.
Oh,
your life is
my first one.
Thank you, Pat. I'm flattered.
Bum's Malt Liquor Report is well known now, man. It's
the stuff of legend.
It is.
It's stuff of legend.
It's why some people tune in now, so that's cool.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you. Peace out.
All right. Later.